Hear me okay?
Yes.
All right. Thank you for the nice introduction, Jim. I enjoy coming out here. It's one of my favorite things to do. This is, I think, my 5th or 6th year of coming out here. I think that's how long you've been doing it, right, Jim?
Yeah, 5 years from now.
Yeah, it's just fabulous. Now, where do I start? All right, let's see. This should be a good starting point. I'm with the United States federal government, and I'm here to help you. Usually, when I say that, that is exactly the response that I get. Do you feel the love? Do you feel that the United States federal government has an interest in helping you? I don't think so. I don't meet many folks that would say quite affirmatively that the government is going to help them. And that rumor mill gets going very easily, and a lot of people pay close attention to that rumor mill. And I hope that that is not you folks. I hope that you're here this morning to gain information, and that the information I can provide to you is going to be helpful. Because one of the things that I don't like to do, and I don't think you do either, I don't like to waste my time. You like to waste your time?
Not a bit.
Not a bit. I have met business owners across the state. I've been an SBA guy for 31 years. I joined the SBA right out of college. Was in the Air Force. I got out of the Air Force just like the guys and gals getting out of the Air Force and military right now. They don't have a clue. I just met a bunch of them yesterday, Davis Mountain Air Force Base. That's what I do as part of my function besides what I'm doing this morning. And they looked at me like I looked at somebody in 1977, and I didn't have an idea what I was going to do, so I went back to school. Couldn't get a job. The job market was like it is now. And so I went back to school and ended up working for the SBA with the exception of 5 years. I'm a very, very, very rare federal employee. Most federal employees, once you become a federal employee, you ride it out. You stay a federal employee, and not me. I had to do it different. I had an opportunity to become a banker. I spent 5 years as a commercial lender, like my friend here. And then had an opportunity, because I liked the SBA better than working for the bank. Sorry about that.
It's okay. Do you have any job opening?
Went back to the SBA. That makes me very rare. A federal employee that leaves and comes back. But I love what I'm doing this morning. I like dealing with small business owners and people that are interested in becoming small business owners. So, with that said, let me see a show of hands and see how many of you are actually business owners right now. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Then the others, I'm going to assume, besides some chamber folks and other folks that are here to pick up information, are kind of kicking ideas around. Is that a fair statement? For those of you that just didn't hold your hand up, kind of, is that you in the back? Kind of kicking around ideas, right? Okay. How many of you business owners even know about the SBA? Let's start with that. Business owners. Okay, you do? Let me see those hands up one more time. You know about this? Wow, Jim, you're doing good. Okay, and we're doing good. Because 5 years ago when I first did that, I didn't get one hand up there. They went, SBA what? They didn't know what SB what was. So we're making progress. It's one of the things we're trying to do is meet you where you're at. For the longest time, I was sitting in an SBA office for years saying that we were trying to help. We were your business resource, sitting by my desk. Never got out. Talked on the phone to you, maybe. And we learned a few years ago that we were going to have to change doing that. We were going to have to meet you where we needed to meet you. That if we waited in our office for you to come down to our office, it might be a long time coming, right, Don?
Absolutely.
Okay. So we thought, well, we'd come out and meet you. So they said, hey, Pipper, you seem to be a people person. Why don't you get out there and start talking to people business owners in every community and see what you can do to kind of stir up a little interest in what SBA really does. So for those of you that held your hand out, I'll start with my friend Don here. What do you know about SBA?
Well, they're supposed to offer small business loans.
Okay? Supposed to. He got that little hook on there. Supposed to. All right. How about you? Are you able-bodied assistant to Don?
Oh, she is.
No, I'm the boss.
You're the boss. He's the able-bodied assistant. Okay, all right, that's even better.
We're supposed to offer support services and resources.
Support services and resources. Good. All right, that's good. Now, who else held their hand up? What about the SBA?
Educational opportunities and compensate.
Oh, we're making progress, Jim. Okay, that's good. We do that too. Yeah. Who else held their hand up? Come on, somebody. Yeah. What do you know about the SBA? Okay, certification. Yep. All right. We need to get certified. And we do that. We do a lot. Now, Dr. Misra is going to he's trying to track me, and he'll learn that I just move around. I get to know you. That's right. I don't want to stand behind that podium and talk to you, and I want to be with you. That's how I like when someone's talking to me. I think it goes to the fact that my wife and I raised 6 kids. It's kind of taught me a thing or two about, eye contact, listening. Listening. Yeah. A lot of other skills have come from raising those kids and trying to make the very best of it. But back to what I do here and what I'm trying to do for you this morning. In the course of this downturn, now Don here has put a little hook on that statement about SBA's financing. When things went south here, and not just here, but in the entire country, and we experienced a recessionary period, and some of you younger folks in this room, I'm sorry if I burst your bubble. I have some of my kids that actually think this is the one and only recession this country's ever had. I try to tell them different, but yeah, I might as well talk to that chair sometimes. And we actually have people, too, that think it's the worst time that this country's ever had. I'm looking around, let's see, I'm probably the oldest one in the room, and I wasn't born in the Depression. But if I was, I think I'd give you an argument on that. I think might bring up the fact that I went to a bank and it was chain locked. Not only could I not get my money, but the door was chained. And they didn't have ATMs back then, so even if I had an ATM, though, I imagine, if you can join me in this little imaginary trip, take my ATM to the bank and it would probably keep my ATM. That would have been a tough problem to deal with. Has anybody been in a soup line? Let's see, no? Nobody's been in a soup line. Have you? Been in a soup line. Okay, well, we got one. Most people have not experienced soup lines. A lot of those people in the Depression lost their jobs, stood in soup lines. We could go on and on, jumped out windows, things like that. I don't think that the recession, although it's been a tough one, for sure, for business owners here in Phoenix and the greater state of Arizona, but across the country. But I don't think it's the worst time, and I believe that it's going to get better. Now, I'm asking you, as a crowd here, what do you think? Is it getting a little better now?
Absolutely.
Okay, we're making progress, huh? Not quite as bad as it was. My personal residence was in the height of times when we were all dancing in the rain and getting credit card applications 3 or 4 a day, and banks were, you close your ears. Okay? banks were out there looking if you were breathing. They were, we'll give you a loan. Not really, but. And those good times, when my wife would call me in the office just to tell me we got our evaluation, our tax evaluation. Honey, do you know how much our house is worth now? Woo! Maybe we should look and get another one. Maybe that's what we should do. She doesn't do that now. She hides the tax form now. So we just got it. So my house in the height of times was at 276. It's appraised out at 108 right now. House right next to me, identical, best comp that you could possibly come up with. Sold in the heyday at 275. It went to foreclosure and sold at a short sale for $65,000. That impacted me. Now, you think a banker is going to be looking at that? I think so. And is that anywhere within our control? No. So here's my suggestion. Now, just a suggestion, back to suggesting things to my 6 kids. I'm suggesting this to you. This is what I do. I don't pay a lot of attention to the news. I simply get tired of listening to some of the stories that they seem to... It generally makes me feel worse, not better, having listened to it. But there is an occasional story that catches my attention. Like, I'm an Air Force guy, and like Captain Sully landing that airplane on the river up there, that's not the important part. It kind of is, because airplanes aren't built to float. Ships are. Airplanes usually sink. But not only did that one not sink, but the people on it tiptoed out on the wings. We all saw them. I mean, it was on YouTube before it even got to the news. I mean, people standing on shore watching this, and they were tiptoeing out. They didn't even get soakers. I love that kind of stuff. That makes me, look, he's laughing, Don's laughing, I'm laughing. I like that. It makes me feel good. The Chilean miners, my family roots are from West Virginia, and miners died. Well, those guys not only survived, they looked pretty good when they come out of there, didn't they? I mean, they looked like they hadn't missed a meal. I thought that was pretty good. This is a more current story. I don't know if any of you watched one of the news stories that talked about a professor that immigrated from Eastern Europe, Bosnia or something, Colombia.
Yeah.
Do you see that?
Yeah, I did.
Is that a good story?
Fabulous.
Yes. Wonderful story. He immigrated and he's graduating with the class this year. And he's going to go on for his PhD. So he not only immigrated here and had to learn our language, but he's been a janitor for 20-some years.
At the university.
At the university. Anybody else see this story besides me and Don? Isn't that a good story? I like that stuff.
Yep.
I pay attention to that stuff. It's easier for me to get through my days when I do that. There's lots of other stuff, and I know this is an epiphany to everybody in the room, but we're in an election year this year. Yeah, I know. I know. And there's going to be a lot of bantering. There already is on every news station, and pay attention to it if you want, but it don't make me feel much better. I was just why I was in the lunchroom getting my lunch to take out here. And we have a TV in our lunchroom, and Biner was on there getting interviewed by somebody, and he was talking about how Congress has been kicking the can. Well, he forgot to mention he's one of them kicking the can. They're all kicking the can, right? And here we are out here trying to make a living and make a go of things, and we got guys like Jim and Christine and me and others trying to help you. And some guy talking about kicking the can. I don't, so you've been warned. I hope that you'll pay attention now. I'm not going to even stand here and talk about the other 66 offices of SBA. I'm sure they're all doing pretty good. I hope they are. I don't know how they are. Some of them I learned, one of them on the East Coast, I learned this from just a couple of days ago. Some guy says, well, I talked to so-and-so in this office, and man, it was a waste of my time. Now, it might have been a waste of his time for various reasons. I don't know. But in our office, I can speak very strongly about the kind of help that we offer. Now, I hope that you will walk away with one of these resource guides. I brought them. I brought enough for everybody. But I got tired of finding these in the bathroom on tape.